Hi, I'm MJ from Linus Publications. We're here to do Trump's Daily, and this is for the 21st of September, which is a Sunday. Now, we expect that Trump will be heading out to go to the memorial service for Charlie Kirk, and that'll be sometime tomorrow. So he will be with a lot of people, and we expect that he will be doing speeches and probably dealing, quite a bit with the, people that are there to support Charlie Kirk. Now, we have 7 angles that we're going to talk about now. We have 1, 2, 3, 5 moon angles and 2 that are the other planets. So we're going to talk about these. First one we have is moon square moon. Now, this is a bit of a difficult angle because moon is emotions, and in this case, it's squaring his natal moon, which just means his emotions are going to be really close to the surface. This is literally he's responding to emotions from the past, things that happened previously that had some emotional connotation for him. So he may have flashbacks to that point without realizing he's having flashbacks. So what might happen, he might be responding to someone, and instead of actually responding to what the person says, he's responding to some insight that he has from the past that seems to relate to this topic. So again, there's going to be some tension here, some inattention because of this, and he might be just off center a bit. Now, if I liken this to an analogy, think of it that you're in a cave and you shout something out. And what will happen is it'll bounce back. It may be louder, it may be slightly jagged. And what happens is it doesn't really sound like what you said. So you may actually respond to it. And what's happening in that is think of it as responding to your emotional past. So a memory of something that you had before. Something from your past, no one else is going to know what you're responding to, but your response doesn't quite fit what the question was. And that's what he's going to be dealing with. Now, in addition to that, he also has his moon square the sun. Okay. So in this case, a lot of mood swings. He's got emotion, versus his sun. So his emotions are pulling him one way, the sun is pulling him another way. If you want to think about this in a different way with an analogy, think of it that he is on a stage and he is saying his lines perfectly. Looks composed, everything's great, people love it. And then all of a sudden, a flashback comes in from the past and he stops. He forgot his lines. Now, he might be able to ad-lib. He might just freeze. He might just walk off the stage. But what happened is he had some emotional response to something from the past. So that that's the moon square sun, coupled with the moon square moon, definitely he's going to have an emotional type of slingshot type of thing going on tomorrow. Now, moon also went into the second house. So it's in there, which means that there's a lot of concern about money, a lot of focus on that. And considering we have that TikTok, I'm wondering whether some of that is actually ending up going into his pockets. Because we already have the sun and Mercury in there. By the way, that's my computer I'm looking at, my other computer. We have the sun and Mercury already in there, and that's been going on while we've had the TikTok meetings over the last week or so. Now, the next thing we have is moon trining the midheaven. And this is a great angle. This means that he's in sync with, in effect, his status, his standing in the world. He will be able to mesmerize his audiences. He will be able to deliver speeches very well. Now, it may be that the speeches don't make sense, but the people are going to be riveted. Think of it as being a composer. He's able to get the rhythm perfectly. And people are just listening to the music and flow. And it is perfect. And people are just listening. That's what he might do tomorrow. Again, the words may not matter. It may be just what he's sort of intimidating on people, and maybe how he's saying it. But the words may not matter so much as how he's doing it. And it may bring up some parts of what you might see as a cult. Now, the next thing we have is we're going to move on to the moon in conjunct the pot of fortune. So the in conjunct, again, is a break and adjust. There's no way for you to get from this spot to there. In this case, think of someone giving you a treasure map. And you're trying to follow the treasure map, but it doesn't have the roads you have. It has detours. It tells you where the clues are, but when you go look for them, they're not there. So in effect, that's what he's going to be faced with. He's going to be faced with not being able to get to what he wants. Could be the information is faulty. Could be he's not reading it right. But in a case of a risk-reward, he's at the risk end. Now, the next thing we have is the sun in conjunct the pot of fortune. And this one's going to be a little tough one for him tomorrow. In conjunct, again, is a break and adjust. You can't get there from where you are. This is the sun with what? The reward. Think of this as having the spotlight on him. Well, he's going to be in the risk because it's an in conjunct. What's going to be happening is it's like he's on a stage, but the spotlight is not on him. It's on the edge of the stage, so he has to go over to where the spotlight is. And when he does, the spotlight moves again. He's not going to be able to get in the spotlight. And what does Trump want more than anything else? To be in the spotlight. So we'll have to see how this comes across tomorrow. Now, the last one is Mercury is in conjunct Neptune. Mercury is conjunct Neptune. Now, this can actually be a really good angle. In effect, it brings out your emotions to a higher octave, but only if you're able to decipher it. So think of it as music that's being played, but the music has some distortions to it. So you have to be able to filter out those distortions. But in Trump's case, I don't think he's going to be able to filter them out. So that means when he's listening to this, he's going to be confused, he's going to be rambling, he's going to be drifting in and out, he's going to have some illusions, so he's going to be saying things that don't make sense. Now, he also has an angle in his natal chart, which is Mercury square Neptune. This Mercury conjunct Neptune is going to highlight that whole configuration in his natal chart. In his natal chart, that suggests that he lies and he exaggerates. So what is this Mercury conjunct Neptune going to do? It's going to fire that right up. So people are probably not going to listen to what he says because it's not going to make sense. It will be pretty much, it'll just be a lot of whining. It'll be a lot of things that, that are just not true. And that's really a pity. Because with the moon, with this on the midheaven, with the trine, he could actually do well in a speech. But in general, so tomorrow, can he speak well? Yeah. He's going to mesmerize his audience. But it's not because of what he's saying. Okay? It's going to be maybe stylism, mannerisms. But he's going to be speaking illogically, not going to be much truth in what he's saying. And he's not going to have the spotlight. That's the big one that I think I'm going to look for. I'm going to see how he's handling tomorrow. I hope you enjoyed this and have a great day.